Freezing rain and ice in many areas right now affecting travel, but there's also snow and low visibility in places as well developing as that snow continues to get heavier in spots and the wind picks up. So your morning drive is going to feature conditions that will be variable depending on where you are. A lot of us getting some freezing rain, and anywhere where we're getting precipitation, be on the lookout for some icy roads. That heavier snow and blowing snow will also again lead to low visibility, and it will build up on the roadway as well, leading to even more slick spots. And for those who have low clearance, again, running into the heavy buildup of snow on the roads as well. Right now in Fargo, it's been mainly rain and freezing rain here this morning so far, as we've expected on that warmer side of this system. You can see the drops on our camera here right at the station on our VNL. First Alert StormTeam Skycam network. We're going to monitor things around the valley, both on our network, on our DOT cams, and reports from you. Please pass those along so we can let everybody else know what's going on out there. And you can see that there's plenty to talk about here on the radar. We've got rain to the east on the warm side of this system, snow and blue to the north and west, and then in between southeastern North Dakota, back through Fargo-Moorhead, and up into parts of northwest Minnesota, there's this transition zone where I'm most concerned about ice this morning building up. Of course, we know that leads to problems on the roadways and even just trying to step out the door onto the sidewalk, but it also accumulates on our branches, on our trees, on our transmission lines, and that leads to, of course, power outage concerns too as the wind continues to pick up here this morning. So these are the areas, southeastern North Dakota, and then stretching to the northeast where I'm most concerned about power outages, but heavy snow can have impacts as well, and you can see we're picking up snow up by Jamestown, Valley City on the radar, indicating that anywhere where we have this deeper blue, that's where we're looking at heavier snowfall rates going on. Back by the Mayville radar site, back over toward Crookston. Now this is what the radar thinks is happening based on what it's detecting, the information it's getting back. And so there may be more of a transition still happening. It might be a little more sleet in some areas where it's indicating snow right now, but it is more solid precipitation in some of these spots. And this is approaching places like Grand Forks where we've been relatively quieter overnight. So it's ramping up for you along that Highway 2 corridor. You can see heavier rain over by Detroit Lakes. And then farther east of us, thunderstorms happening. Not quite seeing that here in the valley yet this morning. Wind is strong. It's getting stronger. We've got gusts into the 30s to 40 miles per hour in eastern North Dakota right now. So that's going to be enough to reduce your visibility anywhere where we have snow. And it is down in places like Jamestown, 1.5 miles or a quarter visibility there. We're down to less than 1 mile right now in Langdon. So visibility problems starting up for us already this morning. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s. This is a critical thing to pay attention to because obviously if we're at or below freezing, our concerns about ice and slick spots is going to be greater here. But even where we have areas where we're a little bit above freezing doesn't necessarily mean it's safe. So watch out for patchy areas of ice here this morning, or maybe even a solid glaze of it in some spots. It's 29 in Fargo, 24 in Grand Forks. So let's get you through our hour-by-hour planner here. Again, it's looking very similar to what we've been talking about the last couple of days. This line of transition, this area where we get that buildup of snow, or rather ice, initially in that transition zone in the valley. Meanwhile, there'll be places getting snow like Jamestown already. And where we're starting with snow, that's where you would expect to see the buildup happening, the greater amounts of snowfall, simply because it's snowing for a longer time in those spots. But we're definitely getting some moisture too in those areas with the rain and the freezing rain. By the time we get into the noon hour, you could see most of us making that transition in eastern North Dakota along the Red River Valley. Noon into the afternoon and this evening, that's when I think we'll see some of our worst kind of whiteout blizzard type conditions going on, and where we'll be accumulating a lot of our heaviest snowfall for today. And then this continues to kind of lift northward late tonight, breaks up a little bit as we start to see the intensity of it wane as that low starts to move a little bit farther east. But even as we head into tomorrow morning and the snow starts to diminish, we still have strong winds. So there's still going to be an issue where the snow that's fallen gets picked up and blown around and creates low visibility and traffic hazards for the day on Friday too for your Veterans Day. So a couple of really tough days here. I think today may be the toughest of it into that early part of the day on Friday. And then once this moves on, it's just plain cold. We're talking highs this weekend only in the teens and lows below zero. So be ready for the snow to stick around for a while. You're not going to be able to maybe try to ignore it and let it melt on your driveway. You're going to need to clear it because it's not going anywhere for the next week.
Next 6 months.
Maybe that too. We do, you know, it is still November, so we do have the potential to melt it before we get that perma snowpack that we see during the winter. But, you know, a foot, 2 feet of snow, that's going to take a lot of work to melt.
Whew, all right.
Okay. All right.
Safety first, everybody.
Yes,
That's all I got to
exactly.
say.
Lisa, thank you.